ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for episode 2 of Tomato Taco Market. Tamako Market, episode 2. Episode 1 was fantastic and I loved it to pieces. I'm extremely excited by this show and by just the general potential that it's already exhibiting in its first episode and its first 20 minutes of runtime. Is kind of how I feel about it. Kind of hard to put into words at this point. Mostly sound effects are what comes into my brain. It's and also some lightning strikes, stuff like that. That's basically how I feel about Tamako Market, with a bit of flippity-dwee in terms of fun and goofiness. All that mixed together is basically my take on the first episode. I like it way too much. Basically everything about it. I really like the OP, really like the AED, really liked almost every piece of soundtrack that we heard. I really like some of the thematic stuff that seems to be happening. Really like the character designs. But let's take a step back and let's talk about that thematic stuff, because I think that's the most interesting thing and probably the most relevant moving on into the future. We don't know how the Goofy is going to play out. It's going to be goofy and fun. Great. Can't predict that. Don't want to predict that. If you could predict Goofy, it stops being as fun, so whatever. Themes, though. Themes, story elements, major narrative turns and stuff. There are a few setups in the first episode. The biggest and most obvious one that I think is probably going to be the central core of the narrative, because of how much it came up in how many different ways, is this sort of dichotomy or relationship between traditionalism and modernization, or however you want to figure those two out. Things staying the same versus things changing. Status quo versus change, however you want to put it, but it's more than that, because it's really traditionalism, and that makes a lot of sense given that we are dropped into this world of a mochi maker and family, and a rival mochi maker who's trying new things in order to stay in business, and the odd conflict that surrounds them and their lives within this shopping district. It seems like there's this bit of a thing going on between these two overall very broad concepts of do things the way we've always done them because that's the way we've always done them, versus try new things and maybe risk it and maybe not sell any of the new things that you tried, but hey, maybe you'll find a great hit and reinvigorate your business, and that would be really cool. So Mochizo's family is putting up a new sign that's more modernized and anglicized, and they're trying out things like osechi mochi, which is the mixture of two dramatically traditional dishes, and trying to put them together, and it didn't work for them, but they're trying things. And then on the other side, we've got the more traditionalist family that are making the traditional mochi and doing a good job at it. But I'm sure that there's a lot more to it on both fronts than just that. And then we have all of the family members. Tamako herself doesn't seem to have an opinion one way or another on this, or at the very least, we haven't gotten that information from her yet. But her younger sister, An, definitely does. Her name is Anko, and she wants to be called the anglicized An. That's interesting to me, I think. So I don't know how that's going to play out, and that will lead our discussion into what I'm expecting, hoping, wanting, maybe from the next episode or two. One of those things is give me some direction or a goal or something. I don't care what it is. It can be minor or stupid, but as long as this stupid goal is something that our characters are all aligned toward and working toward, then we can get the whole shopping district in on it to an extent. I feel like that goal could be get Dara home, because that works as a storyline, I think, and we've seen a different place with different individuals where he's apparently from. We saw a couple, did we see a couple or just one? I don't know if we saw a couple or just one. I do know that when I went searching for a picture for the thumbnail, I saw a couple of characters who are much darker skinned, which makes me think Pacific Islander, because that's how I've seen Pacific Islanders portrayed in Japan before. That kind of dark skin tone, dark hair sort of situation. But they seem cool, and they seem to care about Dara, so I'm wondering if they're his original family and will be eventually bringing him back somehow. Maybe we have to step outside our comfort zone in order to return this creature to its comfort zone sort of story could work. But that's just throwing something random out there. It really doesn't have to be that or anything, and it doesn't have to center around Dara at all. We've already pretty well subverted anything around the creature arrives and dramatically alters the daily life of our characters because the creature has arrived and done nothing to alter the lives of our characters. He's just there now and we get to see it and it's fun. That's it. He doesn't give them fucking powers. He doesn't do anything crazy. He's just a stupid bird with a big ass ego and a bigger butt and now he's fat and he can't get away. So maybe it's just trying to put him on a workout regimen and get him to stop eating mochi. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, other things that I kind of want in this next couple of episodes. I would like more about the school friends and whatever it is that they are practicing for baton-wise. It feels like something that they're all aligned toward, and that feels like something that could be a finale push for like, yay, we're doing the performance thing, and that would work. Don't know how focused we're going to be on that or how backgroundy it's going to be, but I do want to know those school friend characters better because we only got little tidbits about them. I think we will almost definitely get this because I think he's probably the deuteragonist. I would like more about Mochizo. Don't really know much about this boy. Know that he really cares about Tamako. Hasn't been able to say anything or do anything about it. It's young adolescent love, crushy things, but they're like destiny, right? Like they're characters that have been designed to be meant for each other with obstacles in between them. It's like one's a South Pole magnet and one's a North Pole magnet, and there are all these little things in between them, and they just gotta break through all those boundaries before we get to what we know is coming. And yes, we maybe shouldn't know it because meta stuff, but love story is coming, and it's gonna be a love story. So like anything along that direction I would love to see. Anything more that's like little cute bits that are like, oh, Mochizo, you really do care, would be cool. You know, like opening the drawer and finding the presents was neat. Any other things like that I would be appreciating, and more in that direction would be cool. I would like to know more about Mamako. I'm just going to call her Mamako because she's Tamako's mom. I would like to know more about Mamako. I don't know how big or important the late mother is going to be to this story, but she's clearly a like point of motivation or care for Tamako, and so with the Mamako portion, I would very much like more wisdom from Coffee Man, whose name is Kunio Yaobi, something like that. He's fucking cool. I like him a lot. He said some dope wisdom in the last episode, and I would love more. Beyond that, Yamada, just hit me with what you got. Keep experimenting, keep going crazy with different shots and weirdness and stuff. I hope that I come out of this second episode as happy and as excited about the rest of Tamako as I'm going in, because I'm going in quite pleased and quite confident. So, I'm gonna turn my ceiling fan down a notch, and then we will jump on into Tamako. So I'll see you in a sec. Alright, that's better. Let's go ahead and do this thing, shall we? So I've got episode 2 of Tamako, Tomato Taco Market, up and ready to go. It is sitting at 0 seconds. I'm still using the Kyoani cord rip thingy. I did get permission to put the drive link to that thingy in my descriptions, so it will be there, and if you want to go and acquire the episodes from there or the subtitles from there, the subtitles should work with the anime RG version, I want to say, but there are also like fully muxed versions, which is really nice, so you can just grab those. Those are the ones that I've got if you want the exact same subs. Also, huge shout out to DC Resistance for just muxing all of the subs and hard-coding them himself. Very, very helpful. Thank you. That way I don't have to go and re-encode them in order to import them into my editor. I still have to take some time to import them into my editor. I probably should have done that preemptively, but I didn't. Whatever. We should be good to go on that front for the future. So if there's enough stuff in an episode that I want to be like, I want to go back and look at everything, then we should be able to do that, and that should be fun. Also, let me know what you think about the little, like, Editing Tea Explains segments, because there are very often little things that I see in an episode that I care about, and I'll have something that I know of to relate it to that I want to discuss in detail, but very often, one, trying to discuss it off the top of my head just immediately is kind of rough, and two, it's kind of hard to explain certain concepts without actual visuals and examples and stuff. So I think it's really helpful if, like, this won't happen all the time, but I think it can be really helpful if when I go back through my thing because I'm editing it and I see a section where normal recording tea is just like, hey, it's like this thing and I've seen it before and it's like that and I'm probably gonna just cut out all of that time, re-record a thought on it, and hopefully be able to find like a couple of clips from like movies or other shows or whatever to demonstrate whatever technique or stylistic thing or whatever I'm thinking of in that moment. Let me know how you feel about those. They kind of break up the flow of the discussion because I'm literally breaking up the flow of the discussion to go back in and insert a point. But I don't think it's too terrible if recording T is like, oh, I think this thing is a lot like the Kuleshov effect, but I can't remember how to talk about it. And all you get is, I think this thing is like the Kuleshov effect. Cut to black. Editing T says, "Hi, it's editing T. I found some things. Let me show you. It's like this, and here's an example of it. And now you understand what I'm talking about. Bada bing, bada boom. Back to you." Right? I think that works as a dynamic. Let me know. I'm just throwing this out there in this video because I did it in episode 1. And I might end up doing it in episode 2. I don't know if there will be things that I want to do that for. It will depend. But I think that's all I have to talk about. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Got the episode up, ready to go. Can do the discussion via my editor later, which is dope. Thank you again, DC. And that's it. Let's do this. Got the episode up. 2 versions of this reaction video. Picture-in-picture version in the description, timer-based version up on YouTube. If you want to do a sneaky thing, beep beep timer. Beep beep timer's coming. Boom. Scooter? The mushroom clock. Oh, hello. Hello, Dara. Oh, you look a lot like Raina right there. Just, you do. Now you don't. Oh, hello, sister. Oh. Oh. Nyeh. Ah, she's a glasses girl. I did not realize that she was a Megane. Certainly. Indeed. It has come to pass, yes, because you stupid idiot ate all that shit. We didn't see her putting contacts in, did we? But we can assume. What you staring at? Uh-huh. Yeah, do not. No. Nope, she's just real nice. I'm gonna shut up and watch this OP. Up, down, tap, tap. Fuck! That sequence is still... it does things to my brain. So does this. A little bounce on the hair. Hello, not Yui. I'm just gonna call her not Yui. Can we talk about the fact that she rocks horizontally as she's walking because of the shadows on her, and literally nothing else about that allows us to know that she's rocking horizontally as she's going? Because that's fucking bullshit, and I'm gonna write it down. Walk, cycle, side to side. Like, she's going like this, and we can tell, and I couldn't tell before, but she is. Fuck you, show! Oh, Aww. Oh, I forgot about that. We're at, like, Valentine's now. Did we skip forward a bunch? I forget. I don't know. Because we were at New Year's, now we're at Valentine's, which is February? I don't follow holidays. Oh. Oh. Hmm? Just trying to get under that kotatsu. Why is it so cold under there, dude? Oh. To dry them? I'm not sure that that's fruit. Yeah. Oh, I feel you. I don't know what that stuff was, but I knew it's probably spicy. Or fishy. Or was it a pickled plum? No. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who was a what? Right. Oh. Mm. I don't think that's what he means. Honestly, kind of. It's for you, maybe it's like a brothel. That's kind of a creepy thought, honestly. I did not want that thought. I can never ever go into a PetSmart again. This is a house of sin. Oh? Traditionalism. Would you look at that? Fear of the future and fear of oh. No, you really don't, but that's fine. Hello, legs. What's her little pin? Like on the left side of her chest? She's got a pin there. I can't tell what it is though. Oh, fuck yeah. Mochi designs. They're all heart-shaped. What are you talking about? Mochi's even better. It's colorful. And the colored parts don't taste like shit, because colored chocolate tastes like shit. Always. Sorry, if you like colored white chocolate, sorry that you have such bad taste. That's all. Holy shit. Little engineer over here. Fucking what? Disune. Traditional. Hey, she's that girl. Hey, she's super that girl. Get it, girl. Just regift the ones for the girls. Okay, yes, I need to know more about Mido-chan here. Because I might love her just a little bit. Hey. Huh? What? Just mild shock. Okay. Okay. What's Mochizo up to? I'm waiting for one sequence and then a cut to Mochizo. Oh, hello, Burb. Nice. Nice. Okay. Every day. Yeah. A little spring to the step. What are we doing? What? Oh, that was not what we... Okay. What about for your store? Well... That's very cute. Alright, we got a mission. What are you gonna do? Oh, hello, Mochizo. I was waiting for one sequence and then Mochizo. I said it because... I'm pausing. As soon as we get a cut. Remember I said that if we could find some more of those cute things that they have, that would be really cute? Motherfuck. It stops the vibrations, you dingus. They're really not that far apart. Yeah, yeah. Did that say love story in the background? Yeah. Alright. Everybody's here. Hey, what up, fam? Okay, that was really cute. Hi. I'd called this meeting, yo. I don't know what that says. Valentine, got it. Thank you. Yes! Yes! Yeah, sure. I mean, it's very hello, fellow kids, but... I see. I'm so into that. I want that to happen real bad now. It's real wholesome. Woo! That's glorious. They have a little chant. Ha. Nani? Hey, preparation. Chillax. It's gonna be just as bad. Oh my god! Gotta get some snacks in her, yeah. Get her calmed down. Oh my god. Science! Yeah, what up? I know. Fuck yeah. Do it. That's a lot. Hey. I wouldn't do that. There's no reason to reshape steaks. Burgers, though. Heart-shaped burgers. That's good. Okay. Trying to turn his own talents. No, but it has to do with everything. Ah. Alright, so holding desperately on tradition kind of ostracizes yourself, doesn't it? Yeah, well, you were meant to hear it. Yes. Hey. Is she wearing a wig? She's not, right? No. Okay, that was weird. It was like we were like gonna find something out, but it doesn't seem to be. I can't get away from it. Oh no, it's all pink. It's all it burns. Ah. Oh my gosh, the angles. Oh wow. Oh no. Okay, yes. Oh, get on in there. She's a natural, you know it. You know that girl will shine on camera. Do it. Yes. Of course, they're young. On, what's up? Oh shit. We're gonna get a talking bird in our commercial? Ah, I am an expert at such things. That's a funky character. What were those eyes from Dara? Aww. Holy shit, that little moonwalk. 15 minutes. Whoa. Well, that was a thing. Hello, Midori. I would like to focus on you. A lot. Oh, trying to get the word out. Are you allergic? Oh, no. We really need to explain that that doesn't mean anything to us. Oh. Doggo. No, but if she wants to go to the Kohi place and talk some wisdom, that would work for me. Let's talk to Yaobi. Why? Unrequited love? No, 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 kiddo. What? Well, methinks. Do tell. Some of them are conveyed via music. Not the one. Okay. I see what you're doing. Give in, father. Give in. Grumpy, grumpy. I am grumpy. Oh, he's giving her the cold shoulder. Or did he make a heart-shaped mochi? Aww. Aw, he's willing to try. I didn't want to, but try it. I'll bet they're super dope. Oh, he's bright red. That's fucking brilliant. That's great. Yes. That's wonderful. No, it is. It's so great. It's just funny because you're so against it. Oh, they're gonna fly off the shelves, dude. So we have a reason to re-meet with Mochizo. Do we now? With a sample pair of special mochi. Do we now? Wonder how this will go. She's got birds all over her walls? Got any nudes? Fucking asshole. Tell your gentlemanly bird I said hello. Aww. Was it all for naught? Do you have powers? Was about to say, you do have projection abilities. Aww. Uza, Uza. Absolutely, it's her life, man. Aww. Yeah, show us the rest. Show us everything else. Show us your previous recording. Yes! Island. Aw, alright. Yeah, me too. Who does Midori really like, and is it a girl? Is it you? I love the way their legs just go flying all over the place when they're running. Yeah. Aww. Oh my god, she did it. Uh-huh. Wait, what? Are they? Why can't we just love? Aw, poor buddy. Is that the end of the ep? Fuck, that went by so fast. I think X. I think we checked off all of my potential desires except for more information on Mamako, and we don't need that. Holy shit. That's kind of baller. I'm so like critically interested in Midori's thing in this episode. There's a subtext going on. I'm not positive what it is. I need to go back through segments of that. And the few scenes that we have of her in episode 1. Okay, nope. I'm actually particularly interested in that character for that exact reason. Out of all the stuff in this episode, there's a lot, but the thing that's like that's bouncing around in my skull right now is just Midori and what was that? Because okay, there are two major interactions that occur in this episode that are around her that I thought were interesting. Okay, so she's showing up alone, right? Looking around at everybody else making chocolates and stuff. She seems to be one of those characters who gets a lot but doesn't give. And not for her own reason, it seems. It's interesting. But then the way that she reacts when they go for her hair is very odd. So, when does she... You're amazing. Okay, and then she looks away. Right. Poke, 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 you're so cute. And then we go for her hair at some point? Or does that happen earlier? That might happen earlier. No, it's here. And what is this line about not only A but also B? I don't know what it is. I can't find an exact quote about this. I don't know what they're going through. They treated not only their words but also their feelings with importance. Is she in love with Tamako? I think that's the implication here. I'm not positive. I think she's in love with Tamako. Maybe not. We very distinctively hide her cheek during that moment, where she would be blushing if blushing. It's just very strange the way that she immediately pulls away from that. Maybe I'm making mountains out of molehills and it's just a normal, like, playful moment. But, like, that level of an awkward response that somebody else who's a close friend reaching out for physical contact strikes me as immediately odd. And then the way that we deal with relationships around her is immediately odd as well. Not odd, but interesting. And then everybody loves somebody. Straight into the most dramatically, like, exceptional cut of the episode is focused on her as we do this full movement around transition into this speedline pastel scape up into the ceiling. Everybody loves somebody. And she reacts like that. And then is just like shock, like revelatory experience shock for the rest of the time until she moves away and cedes her role to Anko. And when we have a conclusion of any kind to the episode, it's hers. When she sees this, she's the one who reacts not in shock, but in, like, happiness about it? I don't know what that expression is. We talk with her, another dramatically, like, well-drawn cut. And also a very interesting one. Just the way that the characters move across this slowly shifting background is fantastically interesting. Like, we don't normally shift those backgrounds. They're usually static, and that one's moving. Don't know why, don't know how. VLC crash. Okay, I'm really intrigued by that. That's the biggest thing that's standing out to me right now. Sorry that's getting in the way of discussing the whole episode as a whole. It's just a thing that's a wrinkle that I'm not sure about, and that's throwing me for a bit of a loop. I'll try to put it aside for now, and just keep that in mind as, like, something strange about Midori and love, and I'm not sure. I do want to go to episode 1 and look at the sequence where she is in the, like, the gym area with the rest of them. Okay, so she immediately grabs Tamako to make sure she's okay. I'm sorry. There's nothing there. Okay. I don't know. I just don't know. Alright, I'm gonna go import my my episode into the editor, and then we can go through the whole thing rather quickly and talk about all the different things and do them frame by frame style. So I'll see you in a bit to get over to that. Peace. While that's loading up, I decided to go and look at episode directions and stuff, just to check through it because I like to check through it. Episodes 1 and 2 are both storyboarded by Yamada, as are episodes 11 and 12. A little bit of creative control over the first two and last two episodes, eh? I see you, Yamada. That's a good idea. I wish that more series directors would do that. That's good. Episode was written by Reiko Yoshida. Whole first three are written by Reiko Yoshida, which does make me expect that there's some big shakeup in the next episode. Probably based off of finding out all the information about Dara from the projection thing, but I don't know. And then the episode director is Ichiro Miyoshi, who I have not looked into yet. Because it's not Ichiro Miyoshi, it's Yoshiji Kigami, who has also gone by that name. Right, I do know Yoshiji Kigami. Key animation layout for K-On! Movie. Key animation on Second Raid. Multiple episodes of K-On!, Hyoka, Tamako, key animation. It doesn't list him... Okay, Ichiro Miyoshi is the one that he uses as his... Wow, that's actually really interesting. It's like his roles are split. Most of his animation and key animation roles are under Fumio Tada and Yoshiji Kigami, and then most of his direction and episode direction and storyboard roles are under Ichiro Miyoshi. Clanad, Free, Full Metal Panic, Hyoka, K-On!, Chunibyo, Lucky Star, Dragon Maid, Haruhi, Nichijou, Sound Voice, Hibike Euphonium, Tamako Market, Violet Evergarden. So he has basically done storyboarding or episode direction for at least one episode in almost every show that KyoAni has done since a while ago. That's really fucking dope. Very dope. And he's gone. And he's gone. He died in the fire. Fuck. I googled him on a whim because I didn't think he would be. Okay. That's terribly sad. I'm glad that we get to know that and experience the works of someone who is gone. It sucks. It sucks a lot. It sucks a lot. But shit, man. Yeah, that's it. There's no but to that. It's just that it sucks. Senseless violence. Just senseless. All right, let's go. We're gonna go quite quick through this opening segment. It is extremely fun. I will admit that completely. She's super cute when she's waking up. Did not realize that she's a glasses girl, but now we find out that she is a glasses girl, which is super cute. Also, yes, she is putting contacts. Okay, there you go. I mean, that's pretty clearly showed to us, so that's something. Also, Dara is our narrator, which is cool. And seeing her put on her little like mochi shaped little ball bun things, and then sort of just present herself to the camera is really fucking cute. And it's just really cute. And then the day begins. Work time. Making buns. All right, yeah, and infatuation. Okay, so OP happens. We talked through almost all of this OP a couple times. This is still just the most bonkers bullshit thing that I've ever seen when she does that. Fuck you. Love all these characters. It's great. And where's the march? The march. Okay. That frame, she is rocked all the way to the right. Her right, far away from us. She has now rocked all the way to the left. And back. And all the way toward us. All the way away. It's all throughout, too. It's just part of the loop. And other characters, not as much. Much more straight. But all of them have unique walk cycles. Like, little grandpa who does funky things in this episode has this, like, up and down sort of thing going on. The dude who runs the bathhouse has his own, like, thing happening here. The florist is very, like, tall and fairly proper. Holy shit. And Mochizo's dad is kind of just swagging. They're all moving in unison, but differently. Fuck you, show. Also, this background of shiny things. I'm just gonna take the subtitles away. I can't. I will do that on the other video later. I want that for reasons. I don't know what I want it for exactly, but it's really pretty, and sometimes finding patterns like that that are that cool looking is kind of hard. I want that. Okay, cool. Move forward we go. Okie dokie dokie dokie. Welcome to themes and stuff. They exist. Yeah. Get breakfast ready. Throw away that one mochi. Why? Why don't you want a special mochi? Why don't you want a heart-shaped mochi? Because it's wrong. It's not right. It doesn't fit the rules. Rules, tradition. Okay. Immediately, we got a little bit of it there. And the Love and Bloom Valentines. Cool, cool, cool. So she chooses to use it anyway. Wants to give it to father, even though he doesn't care. I don't understand why the kotatsu is cold, and I don't quite know what those are. I think they might be umeboshi, pickled plums, but I'm really not sure. They look like umeboshi. They look like they've got that sort of like wrinkly skin of the orangish color that they get. I'm gonna call that they're pickled plums, and the deal is that he ate one thinking it was fruit, and then it was hyper sour because it's pickled. Fucking idiot bird. Yeah, ripe fruit, eats it, freaking out, and it's the. So yeah, all right, pickled, cool. And I feel you on. Nobody likes this bird, but that's okay. So far, very simple, very straightforward episode, except that we're talking about Valentine's Day, and also there are some little conflicts going on with Dad, mostly. I find this whole discussion about pet shops and treasure troves of young ladies to be quite funny. What is her pin? Is her pin a little rabbit? I think her pin's a little usagi. So all of them being, I see, being people whose parents work in that area, maybe. Something like that. Okay, I want to get more people eating mochi. Of course, yes. But a harebrained mochi like that would never sell. Why not? What makes you think it wouldn't? Right. It's exactly fine the way that it is. Classic. This is conservatism and liberalism. This is traditionalism and modernization. It's a classic debate. Personally, I'm an individual who falls on the side fairly strongly of take the risk, dive in, jump off the cliff, jump further, go ham, just because that's the way that my life has worked out, and I'm solidly invested in the idea that change is part of the human experience and is absolutely necessary. That said, there is value, desperate, dramatic, incredible value to the learnings and teachings and knowledge discovered in the past, and a lot of that is passed down via tradition and culture, and I think those things are deeply important. The thing that I find most interesting, and the thing that is usually, in my mind, the answer to these conflicts is that there is no conflict. It's a manufactured conflict, but it's a real manufactured conflict. This is the way that humans really manufacture conflicts between each other. There is no like changing things. Very rarely do you have to risk all of the knowledge of the past and all of tradition in order to make alterations. For example, there's no reason you can't keep your old sign and also have a new sign at the same time. There's no reason you can't sell perfect traditional mochi and also have experimental mochi, right? There's literally no reason. It's just a human thing to be like, no, we do it the way we do it, and we don't change anything. But why not? But why not, right? We said this in the very beginning of the intro-y discussion-y thingy. There's value to staying the way that things are because it's stable, but there's also value to taking risks and potentially making something much better. So why not both? Well, that's my answer, obviously, and I think that is generally the answer that I would generally give to any sort of situation like this, where a dichotomy or a conflict is being made between traditionalism and the opposite. They're just not mutually exclusive. You can hold on to the past while understanding the future, or while looking toward the future. Like, that's why wouldn't you? But it is a pretty common conflict in media, and I think it's a solid one because the way that characters express themselves around it is fascinating for finding out who those characters are and what they're about. And I think it's also probably more relevant for Japan than for the USA, for example. Like, I'm from the US. The US has traditions that go back 300-ish years. And then deeper rooted traditions that come from previous cultures. And of course, it's also a melting pot where everyone brings in their own cultural stuff. So great, there's lots of tradition and things, but U.S. traditions, there aren't that many. The one tradition that we generally have is a puritanical view about sex and generally conservative politics, both of which are stupid as fuck. So we don't really have that much tradition. Japan, on the other hand, has a extremely long, extremely well entrenched set of traditional things and practices and beliefs and stuff. Like, there's a reason that Shinto shrines show up in so many shows, and that characters go and pray as a tradition to the shrines on New Year's in so many shows. Because it's legit. Tradition's important in Japan. Big time, big time, big time. So it makes more sense in a Japanese context to be having this kind of discussion, especially when we're dealing with traditional Japanese sweets. It's in the name. Okay, mochi's fine the way it is, but is it? And the other concern is the world will leave us behind. This is a very real concern and the major flaw with conservatism. It is isolating, it is self-ostracizing, and it removes you from the flow of history, meaning that, yes, absolutely, 100%, if you try to stay the same, humanity will 1,000% always move on without you, and you will be forgotten and turned to dust. That's the way things are. Like, if you don't adapt and you don't continue to adapt and whatever you're doing, gotta keep learning about it and gotta keep getting better. If you don't, you will get the shit kicked out of you by the unrelenting, uncaring march of progress and time. Get with the flow or get carried away by it and swept off somewhere else, or pushed out of the way and to the side, more likely. I find it really interesting when, especially in political spheres, and I do not talk about politics on this channel. I will not talk about politics on this channel, but individuals who are proponents of conservatism, of keeping things the same and not adapting. I'm not worried about them politically at all because they will die and nobody will care and nobody will remember them. So fuck them. Fuck off. Okay, that's it for that portion. Let's move on. Alright, Valentine's and explanations of it. Yippee dippy doo. Legs and stuff. Just walking up, pop. It was nothing crazy in that one. Fun, nothing crazy. Valentine's Day, cake buffet, looking at people. So she has unrequited, unexpressed feelings towards someone, and we don't know who, right? It's Tamako. I'm calling it right now. Midori is in love with Tamako and doesn't know how to deal with that. That's fucking interesting. I don't know how else to read it. And it seems like she's, one, takes comfort in the idea that everyone loves someone, and that takes it as it's okay to love someone, right? And then in her mind seems to expand that out into it's okay to love someone and not be loved back. Why do I get this vibe? I know why I get this vibe. It's because the most, literally pivotal shot in the episode is Midori having a realization about love. And the only characters that she interacts with are Tamako and Kana. And she's not as interested in Kana, I don't think. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, looking wistfully at other people who are doing their own love thing and know how to do their own love thing and are just dealing with it. Kana is wonderful also, just saying. She is wonderful. And also an amazing engineer. I wonder if that will come into play at any point. I mean, she has carpenters for parents, right? So, yeah. You always receive chocolates from girls. Awkward. You're amazing, Midori-chan. Still single, though. Blushity, pokety, poke. And you, Tamako, will you give them to someone and that shot? And this nervous face. Also, sound design on this portion, I remember being important. Okay, then we do our transition out. We do our walk through town to figure out our goal for this particular episode, which is to liven up the place. Cool. Boom. Okay, here's my logic for this. We spend all this time talking about love and chocolates and stuff, right? Tamako, are you gonna give chocolates to anybody? If we cut from there or fade from there, straight from there to Mochizo, it's too obvious a juxtaposition. It's like a direct juxtaposition. So let's go backward just slightly. This sequence is tiny, and it's crucial and important, right? This is crucially important because it's a decision point for Tamako as to like what she's trying to do, or trying to accomplish in this episode. I think the accomplishment for this episode is going to be liven up the market and get Valentine's going, and maybe create a Valentine's styled mochi that sells well. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Something Valentine's-y that's not related to Mochizo at all, right? But we bring this up, shaku. Everything holds and halts, and the whole sequence changes because the music cuts out and all sorts of stuff. We fade out to here, go through our daily routine of going through the market and stuff. This is our breakup sequence. This breaks up our juxtaposition that would occur otherwise, because we are juxtaposing them. Just this is the way that we're choosing to do it so that we don't accidentally imply too much too quickly. Fuck you, Yamada. And then as soon as this one scene is over, boom, we go exactly where we think we're going. Aw, fuck you, Yamada. That's smart. That is a smart thing to do. Very chill. We meet all our friends and femmes and stuff, and they're all just as cool as they were last episode, which is wonderful. Still getting recommendations as we go. You want the croquets? Hey, we got a good amberjack. Use that. I assume that amberjack is similar to skipjack. I'm just gonna look. Amberjack. Oh, it's a specific fish. But it is not a tuna? But they are in the same family as yellowtail, which is also apparently not tuna. Interesting. It's just a fish. It's a cool fish. Silken tofu, all that jazz, do something for Valentine's Day. And we find out about another background relationship. This makes me very happy. I can't remember what show I was talking about this in. Oh, it was in no, I can't remember. But I love background relationships like this. Oh, it was in Sora no Woto, because there's a little background relationship going on in there. I like those kinds of things. I hope that this continues in the background. That's all. It's just very cute. We got these wholesome minor characters that wholesomely love each other. Very cute. Yeah, I was hoping for something Mochizo, and this is better than I could have possibly hoped for. He keeps a string and cup phone in his drawer so that they can communicate across the alley from each other. Oh my god. One, that's so cute and childish, and it absolutely makes sense as two characters who have grown up together, and they've probably been doing this for a decade. Also, just the way that they're pristine. They're just pristine, and there's one for you and me. It's aw. And then of course it also, maybe if you want it to, ties into the two mochi, one and one. Aw. Also, I don't know. I mean, I don't think oh shit, I was supposed to say it in the intro. There's a Romeo and Juliet vibe between the two of them. It's sort of like a star-crossed lovers sort of thing, because their families don't like each other. That's all. They're competitive, right? They're in the same business and competitive. They don't really dislike each other, but it's an obstacle, right? It makes a little bit of that make sense. So the whole like talking across the balconies thing kind of plays in. I don't know. Just to me, in my mind, it plays in. It's probably not intended to, but yeah, all right. It is still romantic in a very simple, wholesome, childish sense, and I got nothing bad to say about it. I like it a lot. Wing! And she gets bonked in the head by it because she's a goober. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And this is just, the bird is annoying. I don't know. He's just an annoying bird. I love the meeting. I love the way that we introduce the meeting and the cut of Tamako's legs as she gets up to speak, and the three-peat gag of characters are awkward when talking in front of crowds was wonderfully done. Dad being grumpy works here. He's just being a grumpy puss. And then the little chant that they all do is very fun. Okay. Hello, fellow kids. It's also glorious looking tea. Yeah, gotta get that nice yellowish green color. Mm-hmm. Okay, I just want to hear this because it was really goofy. Of course. Okay, so it's not because it's Rabbit Onsen, it's because it's Usagiyama Shopping District, which makes perfect sense. So it's just a thing that they have. They'll like applaud themselves. Oh, yes, let's start the meeting. Indeed. Proposal from Tamachan and the freak out from Dad. Wait, what? And this. Okay, so she's sitting in Seiza. Which is, that's Seiza. If Seiza, just go look it up. It's easier that way. It's a kneeling position. I would recommend it. I would highly recommend it. It'll fuck with your ankles when you first try it, but most things like that will. So yeah, it's nice. I like sitting in Seiza. I like it quite a bit as an alternative to like, because when you're sitting on the floor, you got a couple options, right? You can go for stable sitting on the floor with no back, like if you're not up against a wall, you've got cross-legged and Seiza, and that's basically it. That's like all you got. If you have a wall, you can put your feet out straight or like bring them up to you, or you can always Slav squat and just like heels on floor. Squat all the way down if you have the hip flexibility, which most of us adults don't. But learning to do Seiza is really nice as an alternative to stretch your legs the other way that they are stretched by being in like crisscross applesauce, cross-legged, or a yoga position. Just a note. If you sit on the floor a lot, I sit on the floor all the time. The only chair I have is this one. And it's a stool, but that's the only chair that I have. I sit on my tatami mat, which is also my bed, or I sit on the floor. So having other positions to sit on the floor in can be very nice. Anyway, just the way that she gets up here, it speaks to me of like preparation, and she's very careful about the way that she's like removing each leg off. Very careful about it, like, yes, very proper. Yes, this is how we stand up. Which I think is a part of the setup for the undercut of once we cut to awfulness. And it's wonderful. And the three-peatification of the gag is even better. We bring Mochizo in to try it, and he's like, oh, just let me handle this, and he's even worse. Excellent. And he's even worse as well. This is just glorious until we actually, just chill out a little bit. Okay, everybody's trying to get lively. Wonderful, and Dad is a grumpy puss. That's basically all that happens here. Okay, not only A, but also B and so. Yiddy, yada. Your hair is pretty, huh? Huh? Pardon me. Freak out. Cheek hidden. Eye glimmer. Oh, Yamada, I think you're just too good at conveying stuff. I think this is supposed to be a mystery until later, and I don't know, man. I don't think we're supposed to pick up on this right now. I think Yamada's straight up too good at conveying things. through like subtext that's really hard to point at and be like, I think because of this in particular that this is the case. But I got this vibe. I get this vibe. One, this is an episode largely about love and largely about Midori. Separately, it seems, but they're not separate at all. Those two are intertwined themes. And then the question arises, like, who would Midori be into? And the one male character of age who might make sense is Mochizo, and he's like, they don't interact. Like, I don't think they've really interacted at all, and they don't really interact until the end of this episode, and part of her, like, revelation about love causes her to just be like, yo, somebody else take over for me, I don't care about this. I got other shit to deal with. So I don't think it's Mochizo. I think it's Tamako. I think she is in love with Tamako, and I don't know if she even is, like, consciously aware of that, you know? Like, maybe just a little bit awkward about it and, like, confused, but not even consciously aware of it. Wacky. Okay. Gotta find your split ends. It's also just, like, the immediate response of being a little bit freaked out by having your hair touched by your close friends, with, like, warning is a lot. It's just interesting. It's like, I don't think I would freak out if somebody was sitting across a desk from me and was like, can I touch your hair? I mean, this happens to me relatively frequently because I have really nice hair. People will ask me if they can touch my hair. Yeah, with warning, fine, sure, yeah, whatever. I mean, not during COVID. Okay, rabbit costumes. They're really cute. They're really goofy. Once we plop one onto Kana, it's even better. Grumpy Puss is grumpy. Asks for the power udon. Gets the heart power udon. Fuck yeah, those fish cakes are arranged as hearts. Why is everyone getting into it? Because it's the spirit of everything, right? You're very literally being left behind, my friend. You've got to come up with something. Also, that is the cup that I want, except I want it 4 times bigger. That cup, but instead of being this big, I want it this big. And this big. I want it this size. That cup, this size. If you know somebody, hit me up. Anyway, yeah, you gotta move along with it. And then just the way that he walks out of this place is so... it's so pitch perfect. You've seen a film actor walk out of multiple bars. You've seen multiple film actors, male, in jackets, in the winter, walk out of a bar looking like that. Head down, shoulders up, hands in pockets, walking around, looking around, just seeing the world has changed around them, right? I mean, until he does the full freak out, which is just more on the goofy side. And he gets a little bit of the wibbledy-wobbledy legs going and the spinnity-winnities. Yeah, it's excellent. And that's not so excellent. But I remember Kana's portion being extraordinarily cute, so... Yes. Yep. Yeah. Usa, pion. Fucking good. Good shit, Kana. Kato. Hey, maybe don't suck this time. Hiding on in the background. This is another, it's just a thing. God damn it. What will the next scene be? I don't know, but it's gonna have to do with An, because she's right there. This is framing. I mean, this one's real simple, right? There's this big empty alley behind them, creates a massive divide of brightness that's just brighter than anything else in frame. So there's this side, and there's this side, and then there's a void of iridescence. So characters, nothing. Simple. It is, though. It's really simple, and it's fucking good. Like, leading us one shot. And we do it again. This shot leads us into this shot, which leads us into well, that doesn't. Leads us into this shot. That one just breaks it up. I guess it kind of does, because she's in frame 2. And then this shot, shows us Grandpa coming, who is weird and just there until he addresses the rest of the characters, and now we're in a shot reverse shot, like standardized situation. What do you think of all these Valentine's things? Don't you want to be in a commercial? And then there's a cut of Grandpa doing something dope, and I want that. That's cute. Yes, it is. Go, go, Valentines. Everybody loves the little moonwalk in there. Obviously embodying the mischievous toy maker, right? To sell toys at a toy shop. Shoop, shoop. Does the full hat grab too. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Get it, Grandpa. Yeah. Flip. Whip. Somebody. I thought it was gonna be everybody loves toys. Something trite. Instead, it's fucking wisdom drop. Everybody loves somebody. This is not necessarily true, but it's a nice thought. Also, just that. Oh. They made this character so obviously so fucking wholesome. Something about this slow-growing smile, this tiny little person with the goofy hair and the lime green tux top and the pointy little elf shoes and the pink polka dot bow tie and the beret. Something about it. You know what it is, though? It's the eyes. It's always the eyes. It's the eyes and the wide face. The wide face gives us this wide mouth that's large and welcoming as a smile without being scary. The eyes, though, are so deeply slanted down as Tareme. But they're not large and like taller than they are wide like normal Tareme. Let me show you a picture. Editing me will show you a picture. They're thinner, but they slant down like that. The deep laugh lines. Yeah. That is some character design magic going on here. I think honestly, you could make just a couple of slight changes. Oh, another Wow. Look just at the eyes as I go back and forth here. From here, look just at the eyes, look into one or the other of the pupils, and watch the way that the ring of yellow-green of the iris underneath in the highlight shifts upward and gives you the impression that the character is going like this. And then making eye contact with you. Right there. That's eye contact, right? Eye contact. Not eye contact. Eye contact. Not eye contact. Trick of the light. Just a trick of the light. And I think that if we adjust cut, I can do this. Okay, all I've done is cut it. So that, like, looking up does not occur. And we'll cut straight to the moment when it's eye contact. Everybody loves somebody. Cut. I mean, it doesn't hold there or anything. I could freeze frame it for a second, but I'll just try and pause on it. It doesn't work as well. The motion, man. The motion is crucial. Wow. Okay, and then we go from here. Standard half frame. Okay. Look up. Suddenly it's revelatory. A revelatory experience about love. Oh, you know what? And then she's immediately focused on, yeah, And then there, and then, and then, boom. With the focus in scene on Tamako, and the fact that Tamako happens to be making a fucking heart at that moment. And we go wide to narrow. So we go wide focus. She just had her revelatory experience. Wide focus is random hearts on places. Wide focus is all three characters. Narrower focus, just the two of them. Narrower focus, just Tamako. And interrupted. And freak out, and we gotta leave. So we go for wisdom. Get some wisdom. It's solid. Marilu lu de rencontre? Rencontre? Lyrics. Oh. Well. That pretty much seals the deal there, eh? Song, Marilu, un lieu de rencontre, a place to meet. Since the first day when I have had a crush on you, I'm always hid inside a closet. How on the nose can you be? Well, I guess you made it French, so it's a little less obvious. This narrow space, in the blink of an eye, I'm flying into the blue sky to run off with a few pieces of blue sugar. Blah, 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 blah. In the middle of the night, I lock myself up in a little closet. There are some feelings that are difficult to describe and even harder to name. But that doesn't matter. They still have the power to make people cry. That is a powerful statement. And given that context and what song he's putting on, here's my thought. I wouldn't say that Midori is in love with Tamako. I think she has feelings for her. I don't think she knows what that means. I don't think she has had that kind of feeling for someone in the past. I don't think she knows how to reconcile it or deal with it. And so it's very confusing, very difficult for her. His statement, some feelings that can't be put into words, is right on the money. It's still enough to make people cry. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's my take. And she listens. And we montage through. Wonderfully. I mean, gloriously goofy. And he's just like... And she seems content in this moment. Content with things the way that they are, and runs forward joyously. Okay. And then everything comes around in the mochi with chocolate in them, and they're heart-shaped, and that's wonderful. And it's hilarious, and yes, it's very goofy, but the biggest goofy thing is the way that he's just going fully red and completely super embarrassed, but thank goodness, yes, that's super great. And she does have birds on her wall. Okay. What's this magazine? Chuti? Chuti? And I missed some of the texts, so... Sorry for leaving right in the middle. Look forward to the commercial. Tell your gentlemanly bird I said hello. No, that's it. Okay. Projector doesn't work. He can do it. He does it. Everyone is happy. Leaning. It looks great. Bird shows the other thing. They are definitely islanders, or maybe from a different plane of existence. Just throwing that out there as a possibility, because they're wearing fucking gold all over the place, and that's a lot of gold. I mean, it could be brass, but also weird designs and stuff. Maybe they're from another plane of existence. Who knows? And then we get these expressions from Midori, and I have no idea what these are about. Somebody loves Dara, perhaps, is what she's thinking? And she's content with that? I don't know. I don't know. And she's content with this, though. She's definitely content with this and the friendships that they hold. This whole cut, actually, I'm just going to re-mention this one because this whole cut is biggity bonkers. Okay, so that tree is a separate element. I'm looking to see what elements move and slide over one another to create the three-dimensionality. Okay, the walkway next to them, the bars are a separate element because they're moving. Like they're moving across layers of the water. The tree to the left is as well. This building is one, that building is one, that top segment is also one, and that top segment is one. Both of okay, so it's the full CG hallway experience recreated again. Fuck. Okay, I thought this was less complicated than it is. Look at the moving people on the walkway in the far background. They're moving. I think they're CG. It doesn't really matter at that distance. It just doesn't. And then the walkway itself is one layer. The background is one layer. The lights and telephone wires are a separate layer. Or like the wires that go across are a separate layer. What the fuck? Like this whole thing, you don't see this ever. You don't see this level of three-dimensionality and depth ever, except in Kyoani shows. Holy tits. I mean, look at it. It's for like a 10-second, like not even, it's for like 3 seconds that we're here. Good morning, and then we're out. And then we're out. I mean, this continues, but Jesus. And this is the joy. There are those that bloom in silence. Okay, so I think that's the conclusion of this episode is Midori has feelings for Tamako, has chosen consciously to allow her love to bloom in silence. I wonder if things will remain that way. Because I don't want to bring it into this, but in Chunibyo, the last Kyoani show that we watched, and I don't think it would be in any way the same kind of thing, but there is this character who's like, nah, I'm totally not into this guy, and then ends up being and makes the whole thing into a bit of a love triangle. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Like, if she gets real jelly of Mochizo, that could be bad. But for now, we're content with her contentness, and she's pleased with what she's realized. Whatever that may be. Okay, and then boxes and stuff, and them yelling about all the mochi and Dara is fun. Excellent. Okay, that's the episode. Overall thoughts. Focus on Midori. Yeah. I'm stuck on that. I can't help being stuck on that. I don't think we're supposed to figure that out right now. I think this episode is meant to make a lot more sense in the future. We'll see. Maybe I'm way off base anyway. But I think I got it. We'll see. Anyway, couple cool cuts, a lot of good writing, very fun and entertaining. Definitely feels like my 20 minutes went by in like 5. Yeah, I'm still here for it. I'm still in. It does feel like we got almost all of the things that I wanted. We got some level of direction and goal in terms of we found out the information about Dara. Characters now have that information, can question him about it. We'll probably be doing that for the majority of episode 3. Should be focused on figuring out what the hell is going on. Who is this bird? Why is he here? Do we need to get him back? I don't know. More on school friends and practice. Nothing on practice and batoning or whatever they're doing. Color guard, whatever it is. Nothing on that, but more on school friends for sure. I mean, we got plenty of cute Kana moments and solid character-y Midori moments that speak to a lot of stuff, and we've spent most of our discussion on it. More on Mochizo? Yeah, exactly what I wanted from Mochizo. Something wholesome and cute that's like, yep, these two characters, they're headed toward a relationship at some point in the distant future. Maybe. They got a lot of shit to deal with before then. We'll see. Nothing on Momoko, but that one was kind of irrelevant. And because Tamako doesn't seem to care that much about Momoko, she just wants to find the song. and wisdom from Yaobi. Boom. Got it. Got them all. I think that's it. So let's wrap there. I've been Teeaboo. This has been episode 2 of Tomato Taco Market, and I think it was really excellent. I hope you liked it too, and I hope to catch you next week for some more. See you there. Peace.